2, 3. Cheers! Clink. There's my... This is a mason jar full of water.
I'm not thirsty today.
Mason jars aren't made for drinking.
Trying to improve my health. Well, he's got coffee. I'm drinking fresh organic water.
I don't know about that.
It's not non-GMO
where's
water?
the source?
What?
Where's the source water?
Well, they squeeze it from rocks.
The water. Yeah,
That's pretty good.
We got
then,
some right
actually. Water rocks.
Yep. Anyway, welcome back to the talkies, everybody. This week we saw in the theater oh crap! We didn't go to the movies.
Shoot.
We didn't go to the movies this week, but we did watch a movie.
Yeah. And we'll get to that in a sec, but first I just want to say we just get some maybe business out of the way here, because we had a discussion that I think might be relevant to future episodes.
Yeah.
And that being, when a weekend like this comes upon us, do the listeners and viewers of the talkies want the three of us to go and watch bad movies?
That's correct.
Like all that's out right now is like Rampage and like Overboard.
Overboard. Ooh.
Like,
Truth or Dare.
Truth or Dare.
I don't want to see any of these movies.
These are movies that we don't want to see. So in that case, we decided to watch something else here in the office.
Yeah.
But I guess we're leaving it up to you to decide, in a weekend like this where there's nothing out, do you want us to just
bite the bullet
and go watch Overboard?
So you don't have to?
And watch us like tear it apart or something.
Right.
Yeah, sometimes it is fun to tear apart a bad movie, but there's bad movies that are fun to sit through and bad movies that are just painful to sit through.
Yes.
Like I will never watch Winchester again.
Never.
Like, not for money.
Yeah, like I hurt watching that.
It was cigarette smoking was all that was.
Yeah, it was constant.
So right now, what we have going, if we don't watch movies like that, then we usually watch a movie of our choice.
Right.
Yeah.
So we chose a movie to watch, and the movie that we watched today was Living in Oblivion. Now, you may not have heard of this film. It's a pretty lesser known little indie film starring Steve Buscemi as a film director, and it is a darling of an indie film. I mean, it just screams indie film, and it's about indie filmmaking, and it basically just in a very surreal way centers around everything that could possibly go wrong on a film set.
Yeah.
And I laugh till my sides hurt every time I watch this movie. I love it so much.
Yeah, it's a filmmaker's movie.
Yeah.
Very much.
I wonder how much other people would enjoy it, actually.
I can't imagine it's
There's
a huge
lot
audience.
of inside jokes.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why no one has heard of it. That's why no one's watching this episode.
Steve Buscemi plays a normal character in here.
He actually...
As opposed to a weird-looking one like
his performance is the glue that holds the whole thing together.
Yeah,
it's the most genuine performance, and it's really, really good. He's been like pigeonholed in all these sort of, weird, kooky character roles, and every so often he's giving something truly dramatic, and you're like, whoa.
Yeah, he can act.
Yeah. Have you ever seen Boardwalk Empire?
No.
He's freaking great in that. In a very dramatic and intimidating sort of role. He's got some serious chops. He was great in this.
Yeah, absolutely. He's always been one of my favorite actors, actually. Fargo. He's amazing in Fargo.
I forgot he was in Fargo.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually... I think that was like his Star is Born moment, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was his big breakthrough. Okay, which of the catastrophes that happen on these film sets have you experienced personally in your lives?
Oh, man.
I've had a bunch of them.
A ton.
Pick one.
I can't think of any that I haven't. I was going to say light exploding, but actually I think that happened. It didn't explode, but we dropped a light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a light catch fire. Well, that's actually not quite right, because so I had this light set. They get very, very hot, and the bulb burned out. And I needed to change the bulb immediately because I was in the middle of an interview.
Was
with
it still
someone.
plugged in?
No. So I unplugged it, of course, but I had to get a new bulb in there right away. And this light bulb was still 10,000 degrees.
Yeah.
But I had to get it out. I didn't have gloves. So I got a wad of paper towels, wrapped it around my hand, grabbed the bulb, threw that in the trash can, got a new light bulb, put it in, and then flames started coming out of the trash can.
Jeez.
And we were inside a building and everything, and I'm like, oh
no! Wow.
That was pretty awesome.
Nice.
Yeah,
I've never had a fire on set, so.
Yeah, that was my one fire. And then the smoke machine thing brought back memories. You weren't there for the smoke machine stuff on Kids from Planet Earth, right?
Oh, I was for a little bit, not all of it. No.
But like we had the same thing where it was like constantly a battle between not enough smoke and too much smoke, and like you just can't. It's so hard to get that right.
I've had many smoke machine problems.
Not to mention, like no one ever thinks about. They didn't even really demonstrate it in this, that smoke machines have like a big old loud engine in them. They're so noisy.
Yeah.
So it's like if you're bringing a smoke machine on your set, I hope you're not planning on audio.
Right.
You turn them on, they sound like a lawnmower.
Yeah.
So you have to blow all your smoke before you start the scene.
Yep.
But by the time you know, if anything delays you, if someone's not in their right place or you have to review a line, smoke's gone. By the time you start acting, it's like it just drives you crazy.
In one of the earlier scenes, there's like this like car blasting music that goes by, and it disrupts everybody and the whole flow of the set. I was just shooting this absurdist comedy over the weekend, and we drove off to like this side road that was. We didn't know if it was private property or not. We couldn't. It looked kind of like private property, but it was like just off the road. There was a gate, but it was wide open, and it's just a dirt road that kind of goes on forever. So we're like, all right, we can just pull in here and just set up real quick and go for it. And we're getting this really long monologue that one of the actors is doing, and he's just kind of learning it and going over and over. And like immediately when he got into a really good flow for it, a giant semi-truck pulls around and drives up this dirt road, spewing up like dust in everyone's face, getting in all the gear and everywhere, and it just threw off the whole momentum of everything.
Yeah,
it was funny.
Well, like we do tons of stuff outside in our nearby Bureau of Land Management land and state park land. Great places where you can go and just be away from people and shoot stuff. We do a lot of our commercial stuff out there, and the last motorcycle. There you go. It's ruining the atmosphere of the talkies. Where's our AD?
I know, jeez.
Do we have a lock on this?
We need a lock on this set.
Do you have a lock on the parking lot? All right, we were doing this spot for a product called the Shutter Case with our friend Scott as an actor, and we had gone out. Literally, we were like in the woods. Right?
I forgot about that.
We went way out into the woods, right? And we shot for like 2-3 hours of the stuff where he's just walking around, and then we finally got to the part where he has dialogue, he has to talk, and as soon as we start talking, literally a guy drives into the parking lot, gets out an amplifier, plays some recorded music, and then plays an electric guitar to that music, like full on metal.
He's just
jamming out.
Totally quiet. All the other parts that we're shooting, like regular stuff.
Yeah.
As soon as we got to talk,
we pull out a microphone. A man who pulls out an electric guitar in the middle of nowhere and starts playing music.
It's probably the only place he could do it, honestly.
Yeah, maybe.
That was really funny when that happened.
Yeah, that was really
he was there for the same reason we were.
Yeah. Well, and he left. He kind of left at the same time we did too.
I know. We actually had to record with him still playing.
Right.
We had to get the mic like super close to Scott's mouth, and I held like a light diffuser, a balance for light to try to block sound waves. And it kind of worked.
It kind of did.
It actually definitely worked. You can't hear it at all.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think a lot of this movie really, it's like funny how accurate this movie is at portraying like a day on set. In like a bad day on set. I mean, maybe not bad, but like stuff's going wrong and all that. And it was kind of cool watching this just after we finished our first Carmen Line Studios original short film production literally yesterday.
First narrative piece that the three of us have made together. We shot yesterday, coming soon to our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that one, that shoot went smoothly.
Went very smoothly.
Very smooth.
I learned a trick.
You learned a trick?
Learned a great trick.
What would that be?
Typically, if you're taking over a street without permission, everyone that drives down that street starts to look at you like you're doing something wrong. You know that one of them is going to go call a cop. But this time,
is that okay?
Probably should turn it
off. AC.
Where's
Water's
the AD
running.
On the AC?
PAs.
Kenny's leaving.
Goodbye. I'm done. All right.
Yeah, now we got water gone. Jeez. We just kind of ignore the water.
Yeah, we do. So
my trick I learned was that every time a car drove by, the whole cast and crew turns, smiles, and waves at the driver. And you could see these old ladies driving, going like, "What's going on here?" And then they see us and they're all like, "Oh," you know. And,
it's such a good trick.
It worked.
Yeah,
it works great.
Yeah.
It makes everyone just go, "Well, they're supposed to be here."
Right.
Clearly, this is not riffraff. I approve.
This is not riffraff. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Totally, but it was fun watching this movie the day after. Doing a shoot.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, a total low budget indie shoot of our own. That was fun.
I thought it was interesting how the movie itself, so it's an indie film itself.
Yes, it's an indie film about an indie film.
Right, and it feels indie because not all the performances are super strong. And even though everything's lit perfectly, it's all shot very generic. But the story and everything, it just feels so good, and everything flows so well.
Well, it's interesting. It's not abstract per se, but it's also not a traditional story,
right?
With a beginning, middle, end. There is a arc there, but it's so broken up across a dream within a real film shoot, and then within their imaginations. It's kind of all over the place. It feels like the whole time they're just helping you feel a tone, feel a time and a place. But then in the end, it kind of feels like it did have some meaning and a conclusion.
Yeah, I think it has a natural progression toward trying to get to the end of the film, right? You're always trying to complete a scene, but things keep going wrong.
Yeah.
So in a traditional sense, there's no arc, but there's a goal there, and we're trying to get there.
A sense of progression is always in there.
Yeah.
So the real, wrap up was that we had seen Steve Buscemi's character and the lead actress in this, in multiple scenarios, whether they be real or imagined, give up on their dream.
Right.
And then go back to it when they wake up and realize, it was all a dream or whatever. But it's this constant, I can't take it anymore, I give up, I can't take it anymore, I give up. And then we have that last 30 seconds of room tone, right? Where everyone's standing around while the sound guy's recording room tone, and they all have to be quiet, and we get to go inside of their heads and see what they're imagining. And that's when you realize that, these people can never quit what they're doing.
Right,
you know? They're all throwing their fit about how this is the worst thing in the world, and yet it's all they could think about.
Yeah.
And that's exactly why people like us love movies like this.
Right. Yeah.
I guess if you're not really interested in movies, you might not really like this that much.
Yeah, I would say not.
You'd kind of think why do you do this to yourself?
Yeah, why even
get
bother?
A real job, man.
Yeah, I have to wonder. Yeah, I can't even put myself in that.
One time, I was at this party where it was an after screening party in DC, and everyone there were young, hip, single people, except for me and this one other couple. So there's me, there's this other couple that had kids, and we were just sitting there swapping war stories about having kids, and these other single people were sitting there listening in on us, and we were fully enjoying our stories back and forth about this happened to us and this happened to them. But to the outsiders, they're you guys are making it sound like having kids is the worst thing in the world. Why would anyone want to go through what you are describing right now? And we're just like, we love it.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And I think that's how people would feel seeing Living in Oblivion.
Right, right. That's interesting. Yeah, where you just like, why did you do this to yourself? I remember the first time that I shot a film, first time I was on set, I was art director, and for it, just a short. And I remember it was like grueling, like the producer was going nuts, and director was going nuts.
Some people really lose it on film sets.
And this was the time I told you about, where we went to the wilderness carrying like big combo stands and C-stands everywhere. But at the very end, after everything died down and I was editing, I was just like, man, that was amazing.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, well, Kids from Planet Earth, the infamous shoot that brought us together, we've mentioned many times on the talkies, was like grueling.
Yeah.
You know, it was like military boot camp, you know.
Right.
There's some intense hours, days at a time. I missed one of my children's first steps while we were out sleeping in tents and getting up at dawn and not going to bed till like 3 a.m. and dealing with all kinds of like set and crew drama and
Man, yeah, there was a lot of crew drama.
there
too.
was so much crew drama. And like, yeah, that was like insane. And like,
Yeah,
it was, I loved it
was
so
great.
much.
yeah,
I loved it so much.
yeah. Probably one of my favorite memories of making a film.
I love in this film Peter Dinklage's character, who really gives like the embryo version of his character in Elf, right? Like he's a dwarf who's sensitive about like anyone who's treating him the wrong, you know, or maybe overly sensitive about the way people are talking around him. And then he has this great point where he's like, oh, it's weird because I'm a dwarf. You know, he's in a dream sequence.
He's like, I don't even have dreams where there's dwarves in them.
Yeah. And he's like, I get it. Yeah. You want it to seem all weird and strange like a dream, so let's put a dwarf in it. Because if you see a dwarf, you go, it must be a dream because that's so crazy and weird. And he's like, do you dream about dwarfs? I don't even dream about dwarfs.
I love when then right after that, Steve Buscemi sits down and his assistant comes up and he's like, we can look around and get another little person in here as soon as we can. And then Steve Buscemi's like, no, he's absolutely right. We're not doing that.
Yeah.
That's good.
I thought that was cool.
That's good.
And then his mother comes in. That's like good screenwriting.
The mother?
Yeah, have the mother fill in the place.
Why is that good screenwriting?
All the pieces come together.
Ah,
That's right. Like you introduce the mother and
culmination.
yeah, and then you see the Peter Dinklage walk off, and then scene's not working, and then this mom who's been there the whole time just kind of wreaking havoc fixes the whole scene and it all works out. I just like how that comes together.
I did like that too. I felt nice. The one part that made me go, oh, that was written in, which is funny because the whole movie felt very organic. Felt like everything was perfect.
Yeah.
But the one part where I'm just like, oh, come on. It was the main actress goes over and says, hey, can I listen to that last take real quick? And he says, yeah, sure. And so that's why she puts on the headphones, and that's why she can listen to the conversation later on when they're rolling. And I'm just like, like it's weird for her to have to go and review her lines when she's never done this before.
Yeah, it's also like very convenient that a microphone was pointed out the
set,
out the back of the set.
Yeah,
it's like, well, okay.
Yeah.
We forgive it.
Yeah.
I once read an interview with the writer-director. His name's Tom DeCilio, or Tom DeCillo. I'm not sure how to say his name. But there's a lot of speculation about like what this is all about and who represents who, like real people.
Oh, like what film it was.
And he has said that it's all very autobiographical and based on real experiences he had.
I'm sure.
Has never been very forthcoming on specifics. But the thing people always say is that the the leading man guy is supposedly based on Brad Pitt.
Oh, that's funny.
During his early career, like apparently Brad Pitt had that kind of personality when people worked with him.
Someone who's a super prima donna.
That's the legend. That's the legend. I don't know
funny.
if it's true or not.
That's interesting. He kind of looks like Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Like the long hair in that time.
That's funny.
That drove me nuts. That whole sequence of him trying to keep changing the blocking.
Yeah.
And the actor's like, I have an idea. What if we do it this way? And
it brings back memories.
I've yet to work with a actor who felt entitled to control the story. That way.
Yeah.
Have you?
No, I've worked with people fringe that way, but yeah, they've never tried to take charge.
Yeah.
I don't know. It might be one because of our location, right? So we're not. I mean, it might be different for you because you were in Pasadena for a while, but I think anywhere that doesn't have a whole lot of actors, they probably don't take the acting game too seriously in this area, at least.
Well, I'd say they do take it seriously. I'd say
well, you
that
know what I mean
they
in that regard.
They're hungry for roles and for work,
right?
And therefore are usually happy to be there and take your direction.
Well, as opposed,
they want to make a good impression,
right? As opposed to something that's like, there's like roles everywhere.
Yeah, everyone I cast up here is like so stoked to be there,
right?
And I love that.
Right.
There's nothing I love more than an actor or an actress who's just like very happy to be there.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Yeah. It probably also has to do with like. It probably depends on how big the actor is. Like if the actor has got a good chunk of experience, then their personality type happens to align with somebody who's more controlling. Might kind of slip into that kind of attitude of taking control of the story and stuff like that, and their character and all that.
Yeah.
Right.
I couldn't deal with it.
Yeah,
I just could not deal with it. That's why I stopped pursuing work in Hollywood. Was the egos. I don't have the patience to climb that ladder. I was in positions where it's like, stay in this position, and then you'll come up to this position, and then you'll get here, and you'll climb the ladder, just like Bob over there. He started where you are now. Someday you could be Bob. And then when I saw what you had to do to make it to Bob's level, I'm like, no. I'm moving to Orangevale, gonna start the talkies.
That's where it's at.
Yeah, well, we get paid better. See?
Look at that.
Green! Taylor, make it rain.
Taylor's holding $3.
Make it rain. Oh! Yeah! It's all about the Washingtons.
Yeah. But what's cool about these $3 is that you can reuse them, make it rain more.
See?
That's recycling.
Yeah. So it's like you have infinite money.
I like that in the film. There's this older woman actress who later ends up being his mother, right? But in the first version of the set, she's like an experienced actress, and I've seen this actor, this sort of level actor before, where they've done like loads of TV and plenty of larger roles, but they're still taking the indie stuff and just working, you know, wherever they can.
Yeah.
Reminds me a lot of like the woman in Disaster Artist. The woman who comes in to play the mom, who she's just like, you know, they're like, why do you drive all the way here to do this stupid role? And she's like, because this is what we do.
Yeah.
You know? I loved her whole like rant at the end where she's just like, I am never taking a low budget movie again.
Yeah.
I had an experience on my senior project where it was an actor who was quite more talented than all the other actors. Mm-hmm. You can tell he's been doing this for a long time.
Trained?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny, when he auditioned for the role, he fit perfectly for like multiple roles. And I was like, okay, well, let's decide on this one. And he later got super pissed about the way I was handling everything because I wasn't like, the A-level director kind of person.
Sure,
who was handling everything perfectly, right?
Really.
And he got so pissed at me, and it was weird. When we were shooting, he was actually the most nervous on set.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Nervous?
He was nervous. Like his lines were shaky. His blocking was stiff.
Oh.
It was
So
odd.
maybe he wasn't that good.
He was really good at audition and really good at like blocking and really good at reading. But once in front of the camera,
Always a bridesmaid, never a bride.
maybe that's why he had to do the work that I gave him. $50 a day.
If you were that good, would you be working for me?
Oh, wait. Oh. That's bad.
Yeah. In that conversation I alluded to earlier of me and the other parents, this dad said, someone's like, why do you even have kids? And this dad said, I equate it to hitting your head against a wall. And then you keep doing it because it feels so good when the pain goes away.
That's awesome.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, man. I was wrecked after yesterday's shoot and felt so happy at the same time.
I loved it.
It was great.
Yeah, it was extremely satisfying. It was really nice to do a short where everything just kind of worked out the way it should.
Pretty much.
Almost all the shorts that I try to do that has more than one character in it is a complete disaster in terms of
Well, the biggest
commitment from
miracle is
actors.
that everyone showed up.
Yeah, everyone showed up.
Everyone was there.
Yep.
And we got every shot we planned.
Yep.
We had some
We deleted the few shots.
improvising to fix some light challenges, but I think they all worked out, and
Yeah.
we'll let you be the judge. We're going to put it up here on the YouTube channel pretty soon.
Yeah, quite soon.
Unless it gets caught in post-production hell.
Which it will.
It might.
It will.
Well, actually, there's a part
Guaranteed.
that I may need to roto.
Oh,
Really?
yeah?
That Coke truck.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's a big, fat, red truck that says Coca-Cola on it.
Yeah.
Just because I happen to live next to somebody
Yeah,
who
is
works
that
at
guy
Coke.
what? Is he like, what does he do?
I don't know.
He just drives
He-
the
there's
Coke.
always
He's
a
sponsored?
Yeah, there's always a
He's
Coke man.
sponsored
in
by
there.
Coca-Cola.
Sponsored.
Yeah.
Hey, excuse me, do you mind if we paint your truck real quick? Just real quick.
We were joking about showing our upcoming KLS short in like the theaters as like an ad, like buying ad space and showing it.
Yeah.
And then doing a preface where those commercials of the like UCLA film students who get to like do commercials like, hey, so I'm this, I'm that, and this is our film. We directed it. Check it out, and then play our film with the Coca-Cola
With the Coke
thing
truck.
in there. And then it's like they always make like a Coke ad in the UCLA students.
They only make Coke ads. That's the weirdest
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like they're actually making those movies.
I think Coke comes to the schools and gives a grant
Yeah.
and says, here's funding.
Make us
Whoever
commercial.
makes the best commercial for us, we'll put it in all the AMC theaters or something like that.
Yeah, they really push it as a indie film thing.
Yeah.
It's very weird.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait to see what our film looks like. It's called The Stakeout. Working title.
Yeah.
Could be changed.
I don't think we can give a synopsis without giving away the punchline.
Well, no, it's like a 1 minute movie.
Yeah, it's
So if we give you the
short.
synopsis, then there's no reason to even watch it.
Yeah,
I thought of
so-
a piece of dialogue to be the title, but I figured the same thing. It just spoils it.
Yeah.
All the dialogue spoils it.
All by yeah. Call it Vape Nation.
Yes, Vape
Yeah,
Nation.
just-
Rise
straight
of the
up
Vape
Vape
Nation.
Vape Nation, y'all.
Vape Nate, y'all.
Vape Nation, y'all.
I hope it's good. It was fun to make.
Twist.
And watching Living in Oblivion was fun to do. And
Yes,
if you
it was.
want a pretty good, authentic, visceral taste of
it is authentic.
what life on the set feels like, watch this movie.
We should let people out there know, the non-filmmakers who our audience are, that this is what happens on set.
Yeah.
Like they don't really embellish all that much.
There's a lot of movies about making movies.
Yeah.
Many of them glamorize it a little too much.
Right.
this is what it's actually like.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. In fact, Disaster Artist had a bit of this in it, and they did glaze over some of the problems that were like much bigger.
Yeah, well, the one thing that Disaster Artist had going for, that crew had going for them, that normal crews do not, is that Tommy Wiseau had like millions of dollars to spend on the project. Right. You can eliminate a lot of the problems that happen on set if you spend $7 million on your movie.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
But I guess you still can't make a good movie.
No, you can't buy a good movie.
Yeah.
You can't buy one.
Tell that to Marvel.
Right.
To Disney.
I will. They don't.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah. Wait a second. They don't make good movies, do they?
No.
Could you buy a successful movie?
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Well, that's a topic for another episode of the Talkies. Ahoy, ahoy, ahoy. If you like what you see here every twice a week, please subscribe, like,
Smash,
comment, and share. Let us know what you think about seeing classic movies and some of our favorite films and covering them here versus staying current with what's in the theater, which is our normal model. We've got a lot of big movies coming out over like the next 6 weeks, so we're going to be going to the theater a lot, pending the cancellation of Movie Pass.
We're still going to be doing it. It'll be a lot more expensive.
Need donations.
Right.
Please donate.
Yeah. Movie Pass gets canceled, we're going to start bothering you for donations. Fair warning.
Patreon.
Patreon.
Just saying, this is not enough to go to the movies.
Nope. Not even for a Tuesday matinee.
That's not even enough for a small water over there.
No, man, I got a Honest tea, like that bottled tea called Honest brand, I think.
Coca-Cola makes that.
Oh yeah, which means it should be cheaper if it's made by Coke. And it was $5.99.
Jeez, wow. It's
I'm just like, I'll take this.
Like 12 ounces.
I mindlessly swipe my card and I'm like, what the? You know how much food that is at Del Taco? Do you know?
Gets you a lot of fries.
Could feed a family. Anyway, let us know. Should we watch more? Should we stick religiously to what is currently in the theaters, even if they're horrible? We'll do it. If the fans so demand.
Hey, we'll do it.
We'll do it. Or more coverage like you just saw here today, where we dig into one of our favorites or a classic or maybe something that you suggest. Let us know. And until next time, I am Kenny.
I'm D.
I'm Taylor.
And we'll see you at the Talkies.
Now let's throw rocks at each other.